Good evening, we are live. Hello and welcome. This is Thursday night again, so it's an evening with me and the gang. At least some of the gang. There were more here a minute ago. I think they'll probably be back very shortly. At the moment, it's me, Chris, Gross Models. Hello. And Fox's hands.
Hello.
I'll click the little button. You can't see them both down there, but there he is. There we go.
Hello. Welcome.
Oh, it's working now, and I can hear everyone.
And we have an extra visitor. We have Quano Man. Quano. I'm pretty sure it's Quano Man. Quano Man is one of my new patrons, so he's been invited to join the stream, as all of my patrons of a certain tier are. So, hello.
Hello.
Now you've got to talk for 10 minutes and introduce yourself and do the whole talking.
Oh, heck. Well, I've managed to get that camera working.
That's okay.
That's something.
We can see lots of lovely stuff on the bench there. I must admit, I'm quite.
I've got all my toys.
Yeah, I can see a Falcon, Optimus Prime, the Ghost. Is that Dash Rendar's Outrider over there on the left?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And,
right.
There's the one from Rogue One.
Oh, is it a U-wing? Yeah, it's a little bit pixelated. I couldn't quite make it out, but yep, I see that now. Definitely a U-wing. Yeah.
Couple of.
Oh, these are all from the X-Wing miniatures game, aren't they?
Yeah.
I recognise the stands.
I'll jump past the building part so that I can have a dabble with, adding extra bits of gunk and stuff.
Yeah. Other weathering and detailing and yeah.
Yeah,
they are very. I've got a lot of them myself. They do look really nice. Playing the game's fun, but takes a long time to get set up. And by the time I've got set up, it's time to finish. So.
And then my Prime's one that it's a proper buildy job.
Oh right, okay, cool.
It's very bizarre build because it's not. I don't think it's banned. Does it? But then it's got bits in it that's sort of like from the. The perfect grades.
Yep.
RX 78.
Oh right, so it's similar to that, but Transformer version.
Yeah, and then you got the fold away back wheel on it.
Cool, but it doesn't turn into a truck.
No, I think it's closer to Action Master Prime. Because that was one that couldn't transform. He'd lost that ability.
Oh right, I don't know that storyline. Cool. Right. Well, we'll come back to you throughout the evening anyway. Arrived back again is Dad at Scaly Models.
Hello.
He's building red things.
Everything's red.
It's the thingy. I can't remember what it's called.
The Blade of Banes.
Bane Blade. That's it. Yeah, big truck. It's huge.
Huge. It's massive with headlights. Yeah, I'll show me headlights off again.
You've got to flash your lights up, people. Oh, very flashy. Is it going to have laser effects and sounds and?
Yeah, big deck house.
Yeah. Nice.
Loads of turrets and.
Loads of turrets.
All red, naturally.
Cool. Right, I'll have a quick look through the chat and see who's here. Pascal, as obviously was here, before anyone else. Me, Pascal, and Dad were in there chatting for a little while before Fox came along.
Hello.
And then Skullfish is in as well. And
Skullfish.
Yeah, thank you. We've got Jamie Bone, Swigging Pig, Equal Pete. Scott Sutherland's in, evening all, he says.
Scott.
Shane Young is in again, another one of my lovely patrons. Good evening, he says. Spruglu says, Quano's got one of those Optimus Gumpler Transformers. And it turns out it is exactly one of those, yep. Chris Henderson says, evening all. And Shane says, good evening, Chris, Mike, and everyone.
Evening, Shane. You all right, mate?
Oh, and Walter's in as well, saying hello, all. And another late arrival. We have Tim and Ept have just joined this video chat. That'll be Paul. Paul is there. Right, the main event, the main feature of tonight is Paul.
Yeah.
Paul is going to be doing a live demonstration of the new Citadel contrast paint pack scheme things. He's got a dozen of them or something.
Yeah.
Citadel color contrast things. He's got a couple of minis that have been primed, but nothing else done to them. So they're naked minis.
Not the only naked thing. Hang on.
We're not. The camera's okay. It's fine. We have 83 minutes until this stream finishes, and we're going to see just how far Paul can make a couple of minis look, just using the new contrast paints, which are sort of talent in a pot, like Nuln Oil and Starship Filth. Just see just how good he can make them look before the end of the show.
Yeah, I like a challenge.
So I'll leave everything locked on Paul for the next hour and a half, and we can just talk in the background.
Can I
fair
just
enough.
say, as I'm holding this thing up to the light to check for scratches and stuff, all because I've been watching Bones, all I can hear is like Temperance Brennan in my head going, there's some curve marks to the exterior aspect of the... because I got the gloves on. And
It does look like a mandible.
Yeah, it's like I'm sort of checking it for striations and curve marks.
What bit's that?
What bit's that?
Yeah, what bit is that looks like a lower mandible?
It's the upper thrump device containment bit. I think it's part of a shoulder. It's actually part of at arm. There's the rest of at arm.
Cool, because
arms.
I've got the RG version of that, the MSN 04 Sazabi.
Yes.
Neo Xeon Char Aznables use mobile suit for new type. It says on the box.
Yes. Char Aznable, the character. What was it? Char Aznable use.
Use. Yeah, USE.
Yeah, mobile suit.
What does that just mean? He can use it.
No, it's for his use.
Oh, okay.
It's for Char
Yeah,
Aznable.
so he can use it. That's right.
It's a mobile suit and new type. Char was a new type.
Is
as
it?
was Amaro.
Is that like a brand or?
A new type was somebody who was so in tune with their mobile suit that they could kind of predict things happening. It's kind of all wishy-washy, woo-woo stuff.
Oh, right. So sort of like the using the force sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like a kind of evolution of humans in spaces. That
That's cool.
weird.
Okay. So the Neo Xeon bit is the faction.
Neo Xeon is Xeon were one of the opposing factions in the original series. After the Xeon Empire fell and as Char took over, it became Neo Xeon.
Because it just new Xeon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. I know it all now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
know all
So
you need to know
if
now.
George turns up later, I'll be able to tell him. It'll be
Yeah.
sorted. So the one you're doing is the same but bigger.
Yeah, you've got the real grade, which is 144th scale. I've got
Obviously.
the master grade, which is 100th scale.
But it's the
Yours-
same suit,
It's exactly the same mobile suit.
right?
Yours will have probably less parts,
Oh yeah, definitely.
but may have more exterior surface detail,
All right.
but will have less parts. The one
it's
thing I was
smaller.
amazed to find is when you opened yours and unboxed it, it's not got a complete inner frame.
No, well the Zaku that I didn't have a complete inner frame. It did, but you had to build it.
Yeah,
You know, but I'm not sure. I haven't started on it yet. I
I
should.
was
on it the
amazed to
weekend.
see it had lots of just inner frame parts rather than a complete inner frame, which is quite nice.
Is that what you've got then? Just a box of one sprue of frame or something? Or...
No, I get no master grade. You don't get a pre-made. You don't get pre-made stuff in master grade.
Ah, okay.
I don't even get a pre-made hand.
Well, the Zaku wasn't pre-made in a frame. It had a couple of joint, like I think the thigh joint and the arm joint were pre-made and cleverly
Okay.
done on one sprue. You snap them off and then you sort of pop it together and twist it, and it
Yeah,
becomes an arm.
Yeah, you don't get any of that on master grades. Every inner frame part is literally its individual pieces.
Yeah,
That's-
but they're
that's
twice the
good.
size.
That's the beauty of real grade. It's like the next step up from high grade.
Yeah.
So it's a bit
From
like
high
perfect grade. It's basically like, but the thing with a lot of real grades is you'll get a bit more surface detail on the outside than I will in my master grade.
I don't understand why that should be, because yours is bigger than mine.
It is the order of things.
Yeah, okay.
It's a kind of halfway step between master grade and perfect grade. In
Oh,
144
perfect
scale.
grade's the ultimate, isn't it?
Yeah, well, kind of. Some of the old ones are actually not much more complex than the master grade. They're just big.
Oh, right. Okay. Lynn's in. Evening, Lynn.
Hey, Lynn.
trying to list everybody that's been talking. Chances in as well, evening, and Tom Rickfitz, Rick Leffs. I keep trying to get the letters mixed up in that. Sorry about that. The 144 scale is meant to be simpler, and the joints tend to be integrated with the armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. Right. What you're doing something in there, Quano Man? What's that?
Yeah,
I can't tell from the bits.
Just arrived today. The R2D2 and R5.
R5D4.
So I've already done an R2D2 and C3PO because you have to.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to separate off the R5 bits from the R2 bits, so that I can add a new
R3.
What when?
You said you're trying to separate the R5 from the R2. Does that leave you with an R3?
It's R3.27.
I made a math joke.
Yeah, it's not a very good math joke.
All right, shut up.
Yeah, I've built 2 of the R2s because I got the same pack there, the R2 R5 pack, and then they released the BB8 pack, which came with R2 as well.
Yeah,
So I ended up with 2 R2s. So
I've done it sort of same thing but in reverse. Well, I'm all backwards.
well, they didn't have the BB8 when I did the R2. It was a few years ago. The BB8 kit wasn't available, so or I wouldn't have bothered with the R4. LD's asking, Dad, is Chris frozen in time? I don't. I'm moving in here, aren't
Oh, you're
I
just
don't
a bit sort of out of date.
I? Yeah, I mean, I'm just old. But is that
Chris
what you
doesn't
mean?
move a lot.
I don't move, Matt. I
He
move
likes
my
to
hands
move
around a little
the
bit
show,
and
Chris.
occasionally moving like that. But
Yeah.
I'm not actually doing any modelling things. So I'm just taking it easy. I'm leaning back and got my feet up. I'm just,
Hosting.
I'm just doing the
Looking
hosting
pretty
bit.
on the telly.
My looking pretty time. Sundays when you just get my hands and I'm building things over there.
Guys, give me one sec.
No.
Yeah, I've been doing things though. Look, Lego. I've got some Lego. I'll show you.
There you go.
If I can pick it up without dropping it and breaking it, that make me sad.
It'll be fine.
There you go. I've built that in the last couple of days.
Ooh, nice.
It's the special 50th anniversary of the moon landing. Obviously, there's another bit to go on top, but I haven't built that yet. That's bag number 4, of which there are 3. I don't understand the numbering system of the bags in this are really strange.
Not that I want to nitpick, but I will.
Go on then.
Wasn't the entire lower half of it covered in the gold foil, not just the box? It was the legs as well.
I don't know.
all
I
black
think
as
some of the
silver.
legs were, but not all of it. I think.
And are you going to get some gold foil and cover it completely to make it look awesome?
No, because it's Lego. Someone did say that they got the same kit. They cut all the nubs off, and then it wouldn't all stick together.
Doubt.
At the beginning of the instruction manual, it's got lots of pictures. So I shall have a look
Could be
through.
wrong. And my memory of it is that all the legs were
The
covered in
trouble
gold
is,
foil.
all the pictures are in black and white because it was old. So, yeah, it looks like the legs might well have been covered in some sort of foil according to the little pictures there.
Yeah, I thought they were.
But it's fine.
Awesome though.
It's going to be what it's going to be. So, yeah. But the bags confused me. I think there was 2 bag number 1, both different, and there was 1 bag with no number on it. There were 2 bag number 2s and 1 bag number 3, and there's 3 bag number 4s. I don't understand why they don't just call them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is bags 2 and 3. It's just confusing saying open bag 1, both of them, and the other bag that we didn't bother putting a number on, use that as well. I don't know.
You do know that like with Bandai, if there's something about a Lego kit you don't understand, it's your own fault.
It's quite
It's never
possible.
Lego that's at fault.
Yeah. Lynn says, Lego, smiley face, smiley face. I wish the original Lego I had wasn't thrown away, sad face. Yeah, if only we knew then what we know now.
Yeah.
Jamie Bone says, I've been assembling a shed today at my local allotments. It was harder than working with resin and PE. Yeah, 1-to-1 shed. We want to see pictures of it when you've weathered it.
You won't
Tom,
be able to use, start again. You won't be able to use extra thin on that.
You can, but it won't help.
Just make it wet and then dry.
Tom's just ordered the BB-8 and R2 from USA Gundam store. Jamie says the fit wasn't best, but luckily there are no seam lines. So it's okay. Walter says, if, and it's a big if, going to buy the Sun the real grade so I can make the Master grade more detailed. I like the size of Master, but detail of real. Why is it all a trade-off in modelling?
Yeah, it's not always the case that real grades have got more detail, but sometimes they have. But quite often it's purely because in a lot of cases the real grade kit is a lot more recent than the Master grade kit for some of them. Not for all of them, for some of them. So
yeah, Tom says, go on, Chris, get the 3,000 piece plus Lego Falcon. Isn't it like 6,000 pieces or something? It's a ridiculous number of pieces.
Easily 6,000.
I've got a Lego Falcon that's about that big, I think, which is quite nice, and that does me fine. I've got the big Agostini Falcon as well, which the cockpit's about that big, isn't it, Fox?
yeah, once you've got the Diag Falcon, you don't really want anything else after that.
Pretty much. It's
Anything
sort of
else is a bit
Falcons
pants
you out.
compared to that.
I have been looking at the new what was it, the Jurassic Park dinosaur one with the gates. That looks quite nice. That's bigger and more expensive and nicer, but not at the moment. Maybe later.
Yeah, 3,120 pieces.
There you go.
I remember this
quite a lot.
conversation we had this afternoon.
Yeah, we did talk about it a little bit earlier. Tom says, D says, Dad, get the Blood Angels contrast paint.
Nice.
Is the
That's the
is it
red.
Blood Angel, is it?
It is Blood Angels Red, yes. I
Yeah,
can tell you that because it's on the
new contrast paint.
I quite like the orange one because I put that on the trousers for my Poxwalker, and it did it. I put it on too thick, so it pulled a bit, so I did it wrong. But it looked quite nice. It gave a good effect.
Yeah, I think the contrast paints, all in all, for fresh tones are going to be great, and for fabrics are going to be great. They're not going to be so great for metallics and armor pieces and things like that. So
yeah. I've seen. Sorry, that's your monetization gone. I've seen a few people who are very, very good do some great non-metallic metal with contrast. But yeah, that's advanced level stuff. That
I've seen some figures painted beautifully with contrast paints, but it's probably a lot more work went into it than it will be regular paints. So that's not what they're designed for, though, is it?
no, that's right. Lynn says, Chris, have you started working the PE on the rat? I've started and finished it. Yeah, the rat. Oh, I'll find it. It's in there. Look. That's the rat. When I say finished it, I haven't finished it, but I finished the building bit of it. So yeah, it's got PE on it. Look, all that metal bits and stuff. Got a photo etch on it, and it works.
That's got a real Thunderbirds vibe to it.
Yeah. Apparently, this is a turret that they had on a battleship somewhere, or I know they didn't actually build the thing, but the intention was to use a battleship turret. And it's got two little turrets on the back and one little, probably a normal tank-sized gun on the front that looks tiny, but is actually normal size. Yeah, so the build is completed. I have finished filming the build, obviously, because it's built. I shall be editing and putting up the second part of the build, which is the third part of the series, and then do another one for the painting side of things, because I figured I might as well. Why make it an extra long episode with building and then painting it? Well, I might as well just finish the building and then do another one for the painting. And it looks like my brother might be watching. Steve Williams is down there. He says, Chris never moves much, as someone said earlier. Well done, right. And he actually found one of my streams, look.
I know. Welcome, brother.
Yeah, he'll go now. He's probably gone already. He probably found it by accident.
Yes, Christopher.
I don't remember what you're googling.
Chris, if I remember correctly, it was a spare deck gun from something like the Scharnhorst, which gives you an idea of how big a 1/44 scale Scharnhorst battleship would be.
Yes,
that's a main battleship cannon from it.
But they have like 3 of them or something, don't they? Or something?
Yeah, it was something. It might not have been the Scharnhorst, but it was something like the Scharnhorst.
They didn't actually build the rat, though, did they?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't actually build a rat.
No, it never got. This is the funny thing, right? Because I read about this. Apparently, Hitler was like, "Yeah, we've got to make this. It's brilliant. I love it because it's massive, and I don't really think about it. I just want it because it's big." And then it got to the design stage, and then Albert Speer was like, "Yeah, just stop working on that and don't talk about it." And it's like, imagine if you just said to So, like, imagine if you worked in a factory and you said, "Yeah, ignore the boss, just stop working on it, go and do something else." You get fired.
Yeah, especially if the boss was Hitler.
Yeah, so it must have taken some cojones for Speer to say, "Yeah, just stop working on that."
Yeah, but yeah, no,
But then
I mean it would have been stupid to build it. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's stupidly immense.
But the thing is, you look at the size of it and think it's massive. But to me, I look at the size of a gun and think, just imagine how big a battleship is.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's as a model maker, that in itself is quite a big tank, but you just consider it to be a tank that's like 1/35th scale or something, or But when you compare it to a real world TARDIS,
Yeah.
you actually get the sense of scale as to how big the thing actually would have been if they had built it.
If you made the battleship in the same scale as that, it will be as long as your house.
And there you go. There is and Gundam, and even that next to it is
In the same scale.
it's at the same scale. This is also 1/441. So yeah, that makes it look like a fairly big suit and a tank, but it's actually a really massive suit and a really massive tank.
It's basically the size of a car to a Gundam, isn't it? Basically,
Yeah.
it looks like you won't know what this is, but it kind of looks like a ground-based base jabber.
Yes, you're right. I don't know what that is.
Big T.
Was it as scary as you thought, says Lynn? Actually, no. I didn't have any problems with it. I don't know if that's the first time I've done photo etch. I've not got anything to compare it against. I don't know if it was particularly easy photo etch, or I don't have a problem. I know some people don't have problems with photo etch. It's some people hate it and can't do it. Some people don't mind doing it, and it's not a problem. So I think my practice on the Metal Earth figures stands in good stead when it comes to photo etch, because it's much finer. The where have I got it? I've got it somewhere. I had the there it is. The photo etch sprue is a lot finer and thinner than the Metal Earth kit's metal. But yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. So we'll find out. The next kit I'll do that ends up having photo etch, we'll see if it's an absolute nightmare.
Earl D in the chat says, taking my time with the real grade Cesar because it's such a nice kit. It needs all the affection I can give it. Will be sad when I finish it because the affair will be over. What Earl D forgets is once you've done that, you've got the master grade, or you've also got things like the Sinanju or the 6,000 other Gunpla kits. So trust me.
I've got a Sinanju, look.
Yeah, you got the SD.
It's not quite the same scale as the no. But
Yeah, so Earl D, don't worry. Once you finish the real grade Cesabi, you could just get a Sinanju or
there are
Sinanju
other
Stein
things.
or any mobile suit. It'd be brilliant. There's many out there.
I spy lots of photo etch there. That's Paul, isn't it?
Yes, that's the aftermarket PE for a massive boat.
Oh right, for the boat. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but some of that's just big bits, isn't it?
Yeah, that one piece that's most of the size of my hand is the top of the helicopter deck.
So I can see through it a little bit.
Yeah, which is precisely where I got the photo etch, because
It's like a sort of mesh.
it's an actual
type.
because that is an actual mesh. The piece that the piece that all of this stuff is replacing, it's got a mesh pattern on it. But
Yeah,
it's not,
but you can't. Yeah.
Paul, given that it's a Revell boat kit, is the photo etch replacing basically 99% of all the plastic?
No, amazingly, it's it's much as you'd like to think it is. It's replacing basically the helicopter deck and a load of other little piddly widdly bits here and there.
My brother is asking Sinanju, and I don't know. Yes, Sinanju. That's what it's called. That's what it says on it. It's Japanese thing. It's Gundam Gunpla.
Sinanju is the name of that particular mobile suit.
It's a. This is a ashtray. It's a red ashtray. But it's not a thing. It's like a tank. The pilot sits in the front there, somewhere in the chest cavity.
Yep.
And the pilot is 1/44 scale, so they are. There's my person. There
It's
he
like
is.
a fighter plane with legs.
Yeah, that is a 1/44 person, and that's the same scale as this. So yeah, he sits in there somewhere and controls it. Is it levers and stuff, or is it some sort of mental interface like?
It's
Pacific Rim.
It links to their brain, and there's a link between the pilot and the mobile suit itself. It's like basically a complex fighter plane cockpit, but there is often a neural link.
Go and watch Pacific Rim. It's that sort of thing.
No, that's nonsense.
They're giant robots that people sit inside and control it with their minds.
No, they control it with the Pacific Rim's nonsense. You don't want to watch that.
It's not real.
None of it's real.
People get cross about calling them Transformers and things as well. So he says Sinanju is the martial art that's the sun source of all martial arts. See the Destroyer novels by Sapir and Murphy. Okay.
What does Cesabi mean then?
Yeah, and Ashtray and
An RX-78-2.
That's just a code name.
Shut up! Stop ruining my fun.
Zaku, what does Zaku mean?
Lynn says, I built several Metal Earth before I did my 1/72 Phantom photo etch. That was itty bitty and very scary.
That's also Dave.
Well, itty bitty and very scary.
Yeah.
He's not very scary. Chancellor says a 144 Scharnhorst would be about 6 foot. I don't know what a Scharnhorst is.
Battleship.
Okay. Probably, yes. Yeah, but that's why they do boats at like 350 and 700 scale. Because otherwise they're massive.
I wonder how big the original Yamato would be in 144.
I don't know.
Well,
that-
my 1/500th is 3 feet long.
So 3 times bigger than that.
250 will be 6 foot. 144 maybe 7 foot.
Yeah, well, if it was 450, it's 3 times that, isn't it? So, yeah. Tom says both mind control and handles and levers. It depends on the series. They have controls too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like a fighter cockpit, but with mental neural links as well.
So, like Firefox.
Yeah, but with no Sean Connery.
So, not as good.
Yeah, not as good.
Firefox was Clint Eastwood.
We have a
Yeah,
new visitor. A wild spit has arrived. I thought the bar down the bottom there was getting bigger, but I didn't. It should give names as well. Not only while you're talking, it switches to the name. It should switch to little displays of names at the bottom anyway, because you can't always tell, especially when people have only got bitch cams.
You can tell with this dodgy accent that it's in.
Is that
Only when he's doing the
know
twist.
people's names, Chris?
What
Hey?
I want to know is when was Sean Connery in Firefox?
Wait, who was it? Sean Connery?
No, it's Clint Eastwood.
Oh, it's Clint Eastwood. Oh, god damn it!
And he did
Yeah,
look a bit like that, a
Connery
little bit
was
like
in,
that. But
I think
No,
it's because
I was
they've
gonna
got a
make a
Russian.
Brazil joke,
I think it's the Russian link, and obviously, whenever I think of people playing Russians, I think of Sean Connery.
obviously, yeah. Evening, Spit. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you very much. How's everybody?
I'm
All
all right.
the
I
better
can't
to you.
speak for everybody else. It'd be rude.
I see Paul's not started properly yet because all his paints are still in the pot.
I think that's the thing about the contrast paints. You do them out of the pot.
Yeah,
You don't have to spread them across your bench.
Yeah,
It's not a Paul painting tutorial if they're not on his cutting mat.
I can, but it's just as much fun doing it straight out of the pot.
Right. We'll pop back to Paul. It's been half an hour basically. So third of the way through.
everybody
How are you doing, Paul?
He's doing all right. Is he in focus?
Well, as in focus as anyone ever gets around here.
Is all this painted from the pot triggering Fox at all?
I hope so.
I'm facing the other way. But contrast paints and shade paints, you have to go from the pot, so I don't mind.
Yeah, it's legally requirement to do them from the pot. So yeah, third of the way through, and it looks. Is that just the first one though?
Yeah,
All right, so you've got quarter an hour to finish this one.
yeah, easy.
Suck it on.
I thought you were going to be doing them in relay, so you let a bit dry and then go on to the other one and do that until that dries and then come back and do the first one again. Lynn says, I'd like to join you, but I'm not building anything. Doesn't matter. I'm not building anything. Fox isn't building anything. He's just messing around with things and looking at stuff.
I'm just finding out.
So you, by all means, come along and join us. You've got the link. So
Pull up a seat. Come and talk about ashtrays and things.
yeah, we're getting lessons about stuff. I was going to read what Fox said, but Fox said it, and I already said it, and
Yeah, you don't have to be
I don't
building
have
it.
to read it out, so I'm not going to. Tom says, anyone compared the USA Gundam Store nippers, single-bladed, to God Hand's Ultimate? No,
I've
I
heard
haven't got
they're
either
very,
of them.
very
So.
close. I've never tried the USA Gundam Store ones, but I've heard they're very, very close.
No, there's only so much you can do with single blade nippers. That's
Well, it's all about how clean the cut is, isn't it?
yeah. But if they're designed for Gundam and they're proper branded thing, they're going to be pretty good, aren't they?
Well, you got the Tamiya ones that aren't that good, but
We have a Lynn. Lynn has arrived.
And the Citadel one, garbage for fine cuts.
no, the Citadel one is designed for cutting like
How are we doing? It seems like ages since we've seen you on camera.
Hi, Len.
Hi.
Hi, Liam.
Hello. I shall click on Lynn momentarily and we'll have an introduction because, as Spid says, it's been a while since we've seen you. How you doing?
Hang on just a second. I got something going on. There we go. I have to turn the YouTube's off.
No, you can't be watching us while you're in it because
I know. I forgot to turn it off before I joined you.
So
Oh, it's
this is the new house that you moved to that you're settled
This is
into
the
now.
new messy house that I've moved. I mean, new house I moved into.
Cool.
Yes, I'm still working on it.
So
You
like
haven't
you managed to
unpacked
bring
your
the
boxes
breakfast
yet.
bar behind you with you as well from the last house.
Yeah.
Did you have one there last time?
Huh?
Has Duncan?
Behind you?
LD says, has Duncan said one thick coat yet?
Yes, they have.
It's on the
Yeah.
posters and everything.
They actually had a header on the video saying, "Finally, one thick coat."
Yeah.
Yeah, they've even got it as an advertising slogan outside the
Yeah.
shops.
Yep, yeah, it's on the poster. Tom says they're almost $10 cheaper at the USA store nippers. Yeah, it still costs
Oh,
a fortune
wow.
to get them shipped over here, though, wouldn't it?
Uh-oh.
Jerry was saying when we were at the Scottish Nationals that the God Hands and all that kind of stuff is so much cheaper over there.
Chris, can I just say to your brother that Guthorm is not a penguin?
Yeah, I was going to get to that. Yeah, my
Sorry,
brother
carry on.
says, why hasn't Paul got a penguin like Chris and Fox have? Because that one's called Paul. He's sitting up there.
Mine's called Guthorm.
Paul's got one somewhere.
Okay.
There he is.
I've just
See?
lost my picture.
And me.
Oh, we're still here. Yeah.
I know, I can hear
most
y'all, but-
people have got them.
We've all got puffins.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, they're all
Came
puffins. They're not penguins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
can
keep
tell
mine
by
away
the
from the bench so I don't
face.
ruin it.
Can I just
Oh.
point out? Can I be completely transparent as well and point out
Yeah.
that when I said penguin, I actually said penguin. I don't even know why I said that.
You're not doing a
Penguin.
Cumberbatch thing, are
I
you?
did. I actually said penguin. I don't
Hey,
even know
hey,
why.
You can't say penguin.
I know.
That's very scary.
Because I wasn't expecting to say penguin. My brain went out.
Why do you all have puffins then? Why the puffin?
As
love?
long as you don't say chimley, because I really hate that one.
Chimley
Chimley.
Chimney.
Oh,
or Skillington.
chimney. That's the right one. Not chimley.
Skillingtons. Why do we all have
Oh,
puffins? It's all Scott's fault. Scott Sutherland, who's in the chat there somewhere, who was
Scott.
earlier, he sent me a puffin.
Scott
And
lived in
he
Orkney,
sent everybody puffins because he lives in Puffin Land.
Mm-hmm.
and he sent us all puffins, and I think puffins are brilliant. Anybody who doesn't like puffins is banned. Oh, then again, Paul's busy painting, so you might be all right for a while.
You've got to love the fact the baby ones are called pufflings.
Pufflings.
Pufflings, yeah.
That's so cute, isn't it?
Although I've started calling them puffalopes because I think it's a much more funny name.
Buffalites.
They must be huge though.
Puffalopes.
Yeah, they'd have to be massive.
Like
Yeah.
a jackalope. But
Yeah, a bit like a jackalope, but with less horns, less antlers. The mythical
The Orkney
puffalope.
guy, yeah, the guy from the Orkneys.
Oh God, no! Don't say that.
Sorry,
Oh,
he's not paying attention. It's fine.
oh God, you're in trouble now.
Tom says New Zealand.
The
other way. Not
Other way.
south, more north.
Yeah, a lot less south.
What about antolins? What's an antolin?
I don't know what an antler is.
Hmm?
It's obviously not as good as a puffin because we don't know what it is.
It might be. You might be better and you just don't know about it.
No, nothing can be better than a puffin, dude. There's no bird, flightless or otherwise, that would come anywhere near a puffin.
Isn't a puffin officially a fish?
What about chicken?
No, that's gammon that's kind of fish,
Is
isn't
it
it?
gammon?
Gammon that's
Oh,
kind
no,
of fish.
didn't the Pope say puffins were fish? Or he could eat them or something?
No,
I'm sure there's something about that.
the Queen eats
Apparently,
one.
I used to say chimney while I was little. Just to annoy Spid. I don't remember. But apparently I used to say chimney.
Chimbley.
Chimney.
Chimney. Chimney. No.
Chimney.
Okay, now here's a question for everybody. Let's go around and don't. That's just what kind of power station? You've got to all answer it one by one. What kind of power station was Chernobyl?
Broken.
Nuclear.
Now, what did it used to be?
Dangerous.
Nuclear.
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 Yeah.
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
So who said nuclear?
I one that went boom.
American.
Nuclear power station.
One down.
Yeah, we could let the Americans off because they often get things wrong.
Hey, 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 hey.
Have you seen
Hey, lady. Hey.
there's a YouTube channel that's like Cinema Sins or something like that. It might not be the Cinema Sins one, but it's something like that. And they do the Superman movie with Gene Hackman, with Nuclear Man.
Oh, right.
And it just puts a link of Gene Hackman failing miserably to say nuclear. Nuclear.
Nuclear.
Osric says, I saw some World War I battleships are for sale in Scapa Flow. 250k each. Yeah, we've seen them. We put in a bid. So I'm in for a $5. So if we can get enough of us together, we can buy one.
However, how can they sell it? It's a war grave. Technically, they can't be sold.
It might have been a scuppered one.
Oh, that's true. If it's scuppered, yeah, screw it.
Yeah,
Who's
I
selling it?
don't think they sunk them there, did they?
Yeah,
Well, they sunk them deliberately there. They didn't
Yeah,
get sunk.
yeah.
My brother's trying to come up with words that Americans can't say. So off you go, Lynn.
Herbs.
I don't have chat.
Oh, well, that makes it harder.
I can't.
Oh,
I can't see chat because I'm online and I don't have my. I don't have a way to see
all gone
chat.
wrong.
It won't be any fun if I read them out to you and get you to repeat it. That's okay.
I was listening to an episode of the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe yesterday, and at one point, Bob was reading out some fact or other, and it was a fact. It was something that had happened in Leicester, in Leicestershire. But they had one of the guests on the program at the time was a British comedian, a woman who's a British comedian whose name I can't remember. And when he said Leicestershire, she just started laughing for about 5 minutes. And he's like, "What? What?
Leicestershire.
Exactly.
Leicestershire."
Yeah, what's
Like
the other
the,
one? Is it Loughboroughshire or something? Or there's
No,
one that's
Worcestershire.
no, not
Loughborough.
Worcestershire. There's one Loughborough. That's the one. Yeah.
Loughborough? Yeah.
Huh?
Loughborough, yeah.
Or Birmingham.
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 Just over the bridge from where I live, right on the other bridge end of Skye, there's a little village called Kyleakin, which is where the ferry used to dock, when the ferry that came from Kyle to Kyleakin over to Skye. And I was in Portree up on the north of Skye once, waiting for a bus years ago. There's an American tourist.
Yeah.
Excuse me, can you tell me, can I get a bus here to Kyleakin? Well, yes, you can.
Yeah, Jamie says it's when the Americans say herb instead of herb.
Herb.
Pascal
Yeah.
says, please try to say the following. He says, I'll get closer to the screen so I can read it. He says, Hottentotten Enten Toonstilling.
Hottentotten 10 Tunstelling.
Yeah.
It's a thing here, apparently. Okay.
Tunstelling.
All right. I know Fox and normally does the bench and belly thing, but how about what time zone are you in?
Oh yeah.
That'd be
Wait,
quite
hang
interesting.
I'm in Mountain Standard Time.
I'm in the correct time. Well, I'm 1 hour past the correct time because we were in
Actually,
summertime.
Yeah, we're in English time.
We're on British time, British summertime.
Anyhow.
So yeah, it's not universal time. It's 1 past universal time. So tell us what time it is in chat. It's 8:39 here. So
Yeah.
in the evening, obviously. Because
Tell us where
that's
you
all
are as
know.
well. That always gets people into the chat. Which
I
is
don't
really-
mind where you are. I just want to know what time it is. We've got another visitor. Colin at Festa 67's workshop has arrived.
You do.
I should click on his button. He's still got his beard. Look, look.
Colin.
He's still got a fucking beard as well.
Hi.
He's still got the face furniture.
It looks like he's got his head on upside down.
Oh no, I'm growing it all pointy as well. Look,
What is that?
it's
Colin,
got matching grey bits.
Yeah,
Colin, you can never ever
the grey
straighten
bits are good.
it, you know that.
They're distinguished.
Yeah. Sorry, Fox. What was that?
I said you can never ever get rid of that now.
I know it's the keeper, mate. It's staying.
If you ever
I've
get
just got it up a bit, neaten it up a bit.
Say, Colin, I watched the latest Cat video earlier, and my new favourite word is spudger.
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 Spudger. That's a great
Spudger.
word. I love it.
Have you never heard that before?
I need to watch that one.
I actually
Yeah,
sent you a message, Colin, congratulating you on saying spudger, because that's what I call my part separator as well. Spudger.
See, I kind of am a bit lost at the moment because I've only just woke up because I took some. I had to take some strong medication yesterday because I hadn't slept for a few days, and it's like, yeah, I'm a bit.
When you say yesterday, you mean Monday?
I've got no idea what day it is, Chris.
Well, you thought
The last thing,
That's why it's so weird. It was clean shaven when he went to sleep.
the last thing I can remember doing was sending Fox a message saying, "There's the link to the G drive," and that's it.
yeah, I haven't heard from you since.
Yeah, so I'm kind of. I clicked the link. I was like, "Oh, there's a link there," and I clicked it, thinking it was our group's hangout, and I'm live. hello, everyone.
If you disappear, it's all right. We understand.
Yeah.
Good morning,
to come
Colin.
Hello, Lid. Hello, Mike. Hello,
All right,
Hands 1, which I think is Fox. Hands 2, got no idea.
Hands 2 down there is Quano Man. You might know him
and
from
another
chat.
set of hands, which I think might be Paul Stewart. I don't know.
Yes, it is.
It is Team Inept. So
I do,
apologies
yeah.
if I don't know your names.
I do like how much your beard and haircut is making you look like you could be my dad.
Here, I'll tell you something, Scott. If I and hello, Dad, as well. I do apologise.
You're
Sitting
right.
on the end. Walter White.
Yeah, definitely getting there. Definitely getting vibes of that.
So, yeah.
It's just a shame I trimmed the beard back last night because I got to the point where I looked like I was eating a badger. Because I've got those two grey stripes as well.
Yeah, everyone gets those grey stripes. They're yeah.
I
distinguished
did
grey
it
stripes.
earlier. I sort of was cleaning the pearlies, and I looked back at the mirror and I thought, "Where's this old bloke come from?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I
I
don't
have a contractual obligation. Badger.
Man.
You can't say badger and not have me say that.
Apparently, Fox, you almost got it right saying the Hottentotten thing.
Hottentotten 10 Tunstelling.
Pascal says you almost got it right.
Yeah.
We've got some times coming. Tom says it's 3:39. Pascal says 9:39 p.m. in the Netherlands. Tom says 3:39 is -5 GMT.
Ooh, gin and tonic.
Eastern
Nice.
Standard Time.
Tiger Tank's in saying hello, everybody, and wow, you've got a full house tonight. I have indeed, yeah, quite pleased with the turnout tonight. It's very nice.
Yeah.
And next week, of course, is the open to everyone, so I expect it to be full up.
I thought that was this week. Oh well.
No, the last one in the month is the open to all. This
Right.
one's the open to the gang and my patrons, which is why Quano Man's down there. Look,
Hello,
Out there.
Quano Man. Finally, nice to put
Pair of hands.
put a pair of hands
Yeah,
and a
yeah,
voice
yeah.
to the
You know what I mean.
Hello.
Shane's
just
just
broke
said hello to me in chat. So hello, Shane. I'll let me know when you're about, mate, and I'll sort out your webcam with you.
Colin, what did you get for Christmas, mate?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I got
can't
the
believe
love
you
of
just-
my wife and my children, which is
I think-
more
I
than
think-
enough for me.
Oh
mate.
dear, we've got look,
Join
someone
us.
else has
Vincent,
joined in.
Vincent.
We've got a Vincent as well.
Oh, Erman's in. Hello, mate.
Let me click on the Vincent for a little while and say, hello, Vincent. How are you?
Hello, fine. Just came out of the shower, as you can.
Were you just feeling left out because everyone's here but you?
No, I actually
People
mentioned
waking up,
calling
people coming out of
out.
the shower.
What?
I said we've got people waking up on stream. We've got people coming out of the shower.
Shower.
Amazing.
Yeah, before too long, Mike will be asleep.
Yeah,
He might be already. I haven't heard from him for a little while. So
quiet does Mike.
I see
think
there's
he's
9
out.
people in now. So I don't. Is that broken? It is that 10?
9 plus 1 you're allowed.
All right.
mate.
So there's room for one more. If any more of the gang
Yeah.
are here and want to join in, or any of my patrons that are on my tiers, come and join us. My brother's asking why is Fox? He can't spell Fox. He's got 2 X's. Why is Fox wearing gloves? Does he have really ugly hands, or is he a hand model who needs to keep his hands covered as there is fortune? Are your hands insured, Fox?
It's part of
My
his
hands are
contract.
insured for nothing.
He's
Ow.
super professional.
Don't show his hands on live TV as part of his contract.
Yes. No, it's because I don't want to get. This is a model for somebody else, and I don't want to cover all the parts in hand jam.
Yeah.
If I was making it for myself, I wouldn't give a crap. I'd just build it. But this is a build for someone else. I'm being extra careful and special and professional. It's all lies.
Yeah, it's like every time I do a video, I look to my left and I've got a box of 1,000 gloves sat there. And do you think I can remember to put them on?
No.
Wait, isn't that another rap song? Box of 1,000 gloves. Doo-ba-dee-ba-dee.
Yeah, and I'm like, really?
To be fair, I've got a box of gloves. I only rarely remember to put them on unless when I'm handling high gloss parts.
Well, the other reason is, of course, that this is a build for George, and when George filmed himself doing some sanding, he was wearing gloves. I feel compelled to do at least that for his build.
Main reason I don't wear them on camera is because they're the clear, uncolored latex kind. So when you go sweaty in them, it looks really nasty on
Yeah,
camera.
don't wear clear gloves on telly.
Yeah, I must admit, when I do wear gloves for painting, I tend to just do just the one glove because I'm spraying with this hand, and that's the only hand that gets paint on it.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I thought you put them on your bench and covered them in paint, Paul.
No, when I'm airbrushing.
Oh, right.
Oh, look at that.
I'll tell you though,
Got myself a beard cap for when I have my shower. I'll put them away.
when you wear gloves, do not keep jewellery on your hands. It's minging, it gets all itchy.
Look, Mike, look.
Oh, you got those
I
red.
can't tell what it is.
Look.
Oh, what a
Mephiston Red.
Piston red.
hey.
Piston red.
I got one of them
Red.
You'll be up to
I
that.
don't know.
Ed. You'll be up to that level soon.
somewhere. I can't find it now, but I've got one there somewhere. There it is.
Hang on.
No, that's Evil Sun Scarlet. That's different. I can't.
Was that a can of blue paint, was it, Mike?
Mephiston red.
Oh,
Was that a can of blue paint, was it, mate?
no.
We're holding up on Mephiston reds now.
Yeah, Mephiston red.
Mephiston red.
Or its contrast brother.
No, that was a bottle of Mephiston red. I just happened to have it on my desk.
I don't have any Mephiston Red.
What?
Yeah, I've got
you're gonna have
its contrast. That's about as close as it can get.
There you go, Mephiston Red. It's a legal obligation now to dig out your pot of Mephiston Red.
See, I can show you my Citadel collection.
All of it.
Yeah, I'm proud of that. And,
I can show you my Citadel collection.
I sent Colin the perfect subjects to buy some new contrast.
yeah,
It was
see,
all-
I'm not going to say the paint names because Fox will mock me.
No, go on. Say it. Go on.
Humbro.
I would
You
never
want me
mock
to do it,
anybody
don't
for
you?
saying. I would
Here
never mock
goes
you
then.
for saying a patently ridiculous name.
Abaddon Black.
Pushing an apple shaker tree.
Oh, sorry. Rightland Flesh Shade.
Right on fresh.
Yeah, that do. Yeah.
That geezer.
Yeah, that one.
There you go.
That geezer there, another geezer over there, and that bloke.
Well, yeah, I had the bloke from Apple on the other day asking me whether I wanted to do audio books for him. He reckons they'd do well.
I think you should.
Alas, poor Yorick, do you want a dry slab? So, yeah, I think
I've just got this voice in my head now, Colin, going, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
It was a lovely day down there, Governor.
They silently made their plans and watched it.
so Romeo said Juliet.
Yeah, just to finish Chris wants to monetize this.
Yeah, you want a bit of a tumble when you bales.
Oh, Christ.
Romeo, get up here. My parents are out.
Yeah.
You know, there you go. Ark, what light through yonder window breaks?
No, that'd be. Oh, broke my bloody window.
Can I just
Oh,
say,
dear.
it's most impressive that of all the E-models builders, you've got the word Harris in there quite frequently and get away with it?
I keep forgetting
No,
because
keep doing it because it's not swearing. It's funny.
yeah, it's
just
one of
work this
those
week,
because I must admit I've had to edit out a few. How can I say where I've dropped something on me foot, F-bombs and that, you know, because you forget, then you go, oh.
I think you should leave the Harris in though, because that's funny. You're like, oh, my Harris has fallen off now.
Oh yeah, because it's how you speak, isn't it? Oh yeah, I'm just going to put this tube in his Harris, and then suddenly you're sitting there and you think that just sounds so wrong.
But then
it's not a problem until somebody contacts you saying, I've got the same kit and I'm reading the instructions.
Yeah,
I can't find the Harris
I'm a bit missing. I can't find that in the instructions. John O'M's in. He says, hello, full house tonight. What time is it, John? Is it 5 o'clock in the morning? It's silly time there, isn't it? What have I walked into, says Gaz Vickers. It's just gone mental tonight. I don't know. It's since Colin turned up, it's all just gone downhill.
Yeah, I mean, I had a message. I've just literally seen it. I can't say who it's from, but it was, thanks for the gynecology lesson on the E-models bill. Series Harris.
Was it Pete?
Oh, bless them. I bought a 3D printer, Chris, so I'm in your world now, mate.
Yeah, more Spid than me. It was me, but then Spid's taken over and taken it through the stratosphere, so you have to talk to him about it.
Yeah,
got it running on Octopi, Spid. Sweet as, mate.
Oh, see, that's something I know nothing about at all. There's loads of guys going on about that. Apparently, it's really cool for automation and stuff.
Yeah.
You can watch it. Watch it by webcam and stop it and stuff.
Yeah, I'll just watch it on me little Pi.
Oh wow!
So I'll send you the details on it, mate.
Is that a printed case?
But it looks
no, that's Raspberry Pi with a touch screen and everything that runs off a battery pack.
I thought you were going to say you printed the case for it because that looks nice.
No, I'm not printed that one, but I'm printing the one for the Raspberry Pi and the Pi Cam that's going to be doing all my time lapse videoing of my prints.
Nice.
Pi Cam.
Yeah, the time lapse stuff's really good because you can set them to take one photo per layer.
Yeah, that's right.
It
just
really
looks
cool,
like it's giving it a bit of the old. How do you do that? You know.
Yeah. Jono says it's 5:50 a.m. Wonderful to see so many people. No idea what you're on about yet.
Sorry, mate. Chris, can you switch subtitles on, mate?
You need to have subtitles on. Yeah,
for me window.
It's just good day, Jono. Good morning.
Yeah, no, good day.
Dear. Right. How are you doing, Paul? Have you finished yet?
I've done one. I'm on the second one.
Oh, happy days.
This was all painted live on air. Now, if you were watching the little tiny picture, you could have watched it all live. There you go.
We locked it on, Paul.
I have indeed. Cool. I know these things. Press the buttons. It's fine.
Oh wow, that's nice, Paul.
Yeah, that was completely unpainted when we started.
Yeah.
So contrast paints, even an idiot can make something look fairly decent in an hour.
Exactly.
That's proven by the idiot.
Like when you buy yours.
So we can all have a nebby step by step.
Yeah, they basically going back to another conversation Chris and I were having yesterday. I said with the contrast paints, they could really give a false impression of how good someone is as a painter. And then I retracted and said, actually, you know what? If someone paints something that looks good, then that's how good they are as a painter, really.
No matter what they use.
So you can actually, I think you can achieve, even as a novice to mini painting, you can get some really good effects just with a tiny bit of practice.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying to you the other day on messages, wasn't it? Whereas I've not done. I'm ashamed to admit it. I've not painted anything Warhammer or anything. So for me, the contrast paints and that as a noob could be a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're good. They have their place for everybody. Jono says, cup of tea and a cream bun.
Yeah, if you're
he's learning English. Slowly learning his English, yeah. And Steve, my brother's asking, did I just call Paul an idiot live on air? Well, yeah.
Yeah, he probably did.
Yeah. Wouldn't you?
You know him.
What else are you going to say about him when you're on air? Do we need to do some
I've
kind
asked the late.
and send Colin an emergency package? Do you think?
Did he not get something from Vincent? Or what did he...
Oh yeah, he sent me a load of them Raspberry Dude blokes.
Oh,
one of them's going in the e-models build because a certain person said I've got to try and put one in the diorama, which I'm going to do.
might not be to scale, but there you go.
Hey mate, I ain't worried about that. Like I know about spell.
Next conversation point. We've all finished now. That's done. What else is there? When are you going to be up and building stuff then, Lynn?
I don't know.
Okay.
Surely.
I don't know. I got a whole bunch of boxes and stuff in that spare bedroom. And oh, hang on. I got to answer this. I'll be right back.
See you in a bit. Not that you're trying to avoid the question or anything. It's
Turn your microphone off, don't forget.
Yeah, don't do a TK.
Tom says, Colin, did you move from Arduino to Pi?
No, I've still got both, mate. I'm using Arduino in me Star Trek Voyager to move all my motors and that. The only reason I went for Pi is I've got a cheeky little build coming up that's going to have a 5-inch LCD panel and all of that lot integrated into the model kit. So I've used the Raspberry Pi for that.
Is the Pi is more powerful?
Yeah, it's basically a computer on a board, basically. The Arduino's good for programming little microcontroller Atmel chips and things like that. But if you want to run MP4 and a lot of extensive audio and motors, then
so the Arduino will do little switches and lights and
yeah,
stuff.
the Arduino's your cheeky chappy that will sell you something for £1, whereas your Raspberry Pi is the guy that drives the Beamer.
So, for example, if you were building, say, a Blade Runner advertising blimp, you'd want a Raspberry Pi because it's got the screen and all the lights.
Yeah, you can add screens to it. You can add all your moving text, your movie files. I mean, my Pi build's going to be my Samba bus that the group kindly got me for my birthday last year, and I've got an idea of cutting it in half and making it a 6-wheeler and having a 5-inch flat panel, and it's going to sit on my bench, see, when I'm building, sort of streaming my channel videos. So it's a bit of pimpage as well when I'm filming.
Is it just me that whenever anybody says pie, I just think of Weeble and Bob, or is it just me?
No, I just think of pie
to me, and I think of the mash and the lick that they go with it. You know,
pie and mash.
Yeah.
Paul's showing off things, but not very well because he didn't say anything. So it just
no, I was
this
just trying
is
to
the
get
second one, isn't it?
Yeah, I was trying to get it in focus before I said anything. But the lighting is.
Is that with contrasts? Is it, Paul?
Yep.
Fester sounded like he knew Warhammer.
Yeah, it sounded impressive.
Blag it.
Yeah.
What colour contrasts are they then, Colin?
Yeah.
What colours did he use on that, do you think?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm quite an aficionado on these things, you know. I think that's a bit of the old new Citadel contrast paintage.
Yeah, but what are they called? What's that flesh tone one called, do you think?
Is it the same one as I said just now?
No.
Ugin McCallum watching my flesh tone. How's that sound?
That's far too simple a name for Games Workshop. You know nothing.
Oh, mate, I've got no idea.
Yeah, I'll take
flesh and tone.
Proper photos of it.
According to the pot that Paul just waved at us, I think it was Gulliman flesh.
Yes, it was.
That just means it's very tiny.
That'll be some of that.
Oh,
I'm
Lynn's
gonna
back.
have to leave.
Okay, Lynn's back, but going. So,
I gotta leave. Thanks for letting me come
problem.
in.
Thanks for visiting. You're welcome anytime.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Y'all have a good one.
See you later. There you go.
Who's got the television screen off with the static effect?
Yeah, I just noticed that. That's Vincent. Vincent seems to have one of his cameras not working.
How do you even get the strobing TV screen effect? Or is that just a fake?
I think just because one of his cameras not working.
Yeah,
that's because his many cams gone.
Yeah, it's because he's doing this nonsense. I don't know.
Yeah.
The strobing TV effect. Did anybody see the video? I think it was in the Boom Hall. The video clip that somebody had done with a Gundam set on a beach. And they made
yeah, I
it
saw
like
that.
an old VHS thing
Oh yeah, that was
with
good.
the wibbly
Yeah, I like
lines
that.
and little dates in the corner.
I like that.
That was really
John
cool.
O says he's got an update on his 144 tug, which, if you remember, he had video of it running around in the bathtub.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He says, picks to come. He's made a tiny gearbox and drive shaft system to make the starboard side radar turn.
Oh, happy.
So
day.
not only is it going to be going mental in the bathtub, it's got little radars that spin around it. It's just
Oh,
far too good.
legend.
Important chat comments. Steve Williams, no relation, says, is the slightly spaced guy called Colin. He has a cool radio style mic. Colin,
Yes.
just to explain to Steve, Colin kind of had just woken up and didn't even realise we were live on telly.
Oh, yeah, I saw the link and clicked it, figured it was one of our own Hangout links. That
Like a private
Vince
Hangout
was
chat.
gonna put up, and I was like, oh, right, time
on,
to
telly.
super profesh. Mm.
I'm pretty sure next to the link there was a bit of a message that said, "This is the link for joining the show tonight."
Didn't read that, mate. I just saw the blue hyperlink. Like,
Readings for chumps.
yeah.
Who does
it's
the
like,
reading stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, that'll do.
I'll do it out, say hello. We're lucky you're wearing clothes, really.
Yeah, it's a nice little mic. It's a newer 1400 NW, 1500 even. There you go.
Yeah.
On a
A
boomage.
few of us have got similar sort of setups with mics that sit there.
I've
And
not got a dangly mic, it's just on a piece of foam there.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
hide it out of shot, but
I thought I'd have a dangly mic because it gets it out of the way of the bench. They don't actually do stuff on the
yeah.
bench.
And then I use that one with me phone on for recording. I've got everything on boom arms around me because I'm sort of, as we know, battling to stay out of a wheelchair. So I've modified my entire workshop with boom arms and everything.
Best
So,
way of doing it, isn't it? Tom
yeah.
says he won't be able to come next week because next week's the free for all. Everybody welcome on camera because he's got a friend in town who's about to deploy soon for the weekend. So all the best to your friend. We'll see you next month. But
Yep.
yeah.
Happy days. Take care, mate.
Colin, too long didn't read, but great at improv. Yeah, he doesn't read stuff,
it's
but
like,
he just got and it's like, oh, I'm live on telly.
mate, I do improv all the time. I mean, I know how to build a model.
Well, we all do improv because otherwise you'd have to plan
Yeah,
things.
it's
and
like-
what's the point in doing that?
Yeah.
Does that mean you know Tony Slattery?
Yeah. I mean, I normally sit here with a glass of pins and a cucumber sandwich. What?
I don't understand the point of cucumbers.
And they're just water, aren't they? They're posh water.
Yeah, well, they are a very good way to hydrate.
It's just a water tube.
It's just a waste of something to grow, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something that could easily be a different vegetable or meat, but it's just water.
Yeah, it's just a vegetable that's trying to be a sausage, isn't it?
It is very refreshing and yummy.
I can tell you that the whole cats are scared of cucumbers thing's nonsense. I once got a cucumber and sat it behind my cat while she was eating, and I waited and she just kind of like stopped, looked around, looked at the cucumber, looked at me, and then turned back around and carried on eating. And it's like, what the hell are you doing, you moron?
It has something to do with their natural instinct against snakes, but in Europe we don't really have snakes that size, do we?
I think you probably have to train the cat by beating it repeatedly with a cucumber until it comes to a point where when it sees a cucumber, it panics. Not that I'd advise against doing that.
We don't have snakes that look like cucumbers. We do have slow worms, which look like snakes, but we don't have snakes that look like cucumbers.
Yeah, not like the thickness of a cucumber. Yeah.
No, probably not. My brother says you can't call a vegetable a sausage anymore. Yeah, they were talking about that on the radio at work the other day about vegetable sausages, vegetarian sausages. People are getting cross because you shouldn't be able to call them sausages because sausages must have meat in them.
They're just vegetable tubes.
Right. But sausage is a descriptive term as to the shape of it rather than the filling of it.
Is there a rule that says a sausage has to be meat?
Yes, my rules that I made up.
I think if someone says, "Would you like a sausage?" then you're expecting it to be meat. Whereas if they say, "Would you like a vegetarian sausage?" then you know exactly what you're getting, or not getting, because you say, "No, give me a real sausage."
Vegetarian sausage, then you know what it is, don't you?
To be fair, how many people do you see running around? Do you want a sausage? And they're vegetarians. It doesn't really.
It happens all the time up here, Vincent.
I've just realised
The common occurrence in Scotland.
a few days ago for dinner we had vegetable fish fingers, which are really nice. But I've only just triggered right now that the actually on the box vegetable fish fingers. They're not fish fingers.
There's
are
no
they?
fish involved in it at all. So
Yeah, no, it's just, and it's like, well, hang on. I just realised it said vegetable fish.
did it,
finger on
or
the
did you just read that in your head and it just said vegetable fingers?
Making the feelings of all those vegetable fish out there, folks.
God, I don't know, weird.
Well, it's like chicken fingers as well. Chicken don't have fingers either. So
I can't believe it's taken me a week to realise it said that on the box.
I don't think it did. I think you've invented that. I think it didn't say that at all.
I have no imagination. Yeah. I used to work in the civil service.
I've just seen
That
Dad
explains-
moving. I just had to check on him. He's not got his phone on his little holder. I was just going to see if he had his phone unlocked, but you haven't.
What? Oh, permanently unlocked.
Put my phone over here tonight on purpose. Hey, and look.
It is unlocked. Isn't it? Oh dear. So we're in the 25 minutes to go. So, hey, Paul, have you finished yet?
Yeah, they're both done.
They're both finished and done.
Yeah, and I've posted photos of them in the boom hut. Because
Okay.
that's awesome.
Go and find the boom hut. Look at pictures of Paul's thing. They're probably posted under Paul because he confuses a bit. We're using a different name here than there.
Yeah.
Let's have a look then. Yeah. So from nothing to fully painted,
Put them on present, Chris, because
I have.
Nah, don't.
And this is just purely contrast paints and no others.
Yeah, just blapped on the contrast paints.
Blap.
Nice.
they work best over a light coloured primer, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they work. Yeah, you can't really put them over a dark color, otherwise
Well,
you lose the because they're basically sort of.
They're very
translucent.
thin, aren't they? Generally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've used them on my Stormcast Eternals, which I prime them grey and then I spray paint the Liberated Gold because I've thinned it down to X28.
Oh, they can go over gold.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but you don't really get the contrast effect that you see when it goes over a white primer. It's more like a really, really easy brush stroke free base coat that you're putting on.
Yeah, if you put some of them over gold, you get wonderfully bright goldy metallic colours. You actually get nice sort of chrome gold candy type colours.
Yeah, I did put on 2 coats because that happened. To be a
You're
problem.
not allowed. No, you'll be banned. One thick coat. It says.
No two
I've just
people.
realised I've been sat here nodding and agreeing with
Yeah,
everything.
but-
you're saying, and I ain't got a clue what
Wait,
you're on.
I'll get one out. I'll get one out.
It's the best way to be, Colin.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
just
the
yeah.
viewer's going to think, oh, yeah, he knows exactly what they mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just act like you do. Blag it. It's fine.
It's the
Yeah.
internet version of rustling the newspaper and saying, yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yes. Yes.
I'm talking
Nah,
about
That's when I switch my hearing aid off, Fox, and just nod in agreement.
Yeah.
that was a stupid camera. Hello.
Yeah, that camera's not showing anything.
It's not doing jack shit, is it? I really shouldn't have bought 2 of the same webcams. That was a bad idea.
That's the annoying thing with having 2 of the same webcams. You can't change the names of them.
Yeah, you can't.
You can,
Can you?
mate. Yeah, you do it in your registry settings, mate.
All right, I'll have to play around with that then.
Yeah, just go into regedit, find the hotkey, rename the webcam to whatever you want, and boom. Because I've got 2 270s and a 920 here, all with different names. So yeah.
And then Chris was never able to get any of his cameras to work again.
One of the going back to the contrast briefly, one of the best color effects I've seen was from someone who I can't remember who the guy's name was, but he was very good. He basically layered. He put down probably some lead belcher or something, a steel base color, and then laid over the top of that skeleton horde, the sort of the pale bone contrast. It comes out as a beautiful sort of goldy, muted gold color.
Yeah,
I'm
one of the
actually gonna try that.
Warhammer TV videos, he does a lead belcher base, and then he goes over with the blue color, the ultramarine blue color, and it just gets like a kind of blue steel. I think it was for the not word bearers, Iron Legion. It gives this nice sort of bluey tinted steel look,
Yeah,
which you'd normally do with glazes.
Yeah, where I used them though, it was on these feathers, and there you can see that candied effect on this, because this only has the one coat on it.
Mm.
For some reason, you've got the decent camera is the one looking at you, and the one that's a bit fuzzy is looking at the table.
Well, no, I think it's in focus on the table, but it's not in focus when you're holding stuff off the
wait,
table.
I know why. It was not on 1080p. It should be on 1080p. Yeah. But the one I used 2 coats on was this bottom skirt, which I wanted to be cloth, so I didn't want any of the gold showing through. But yeah, it is lovely if you just put the one coat on. You get that really nice, rich
gold.
Yeah.
Gets it a nice patina.
Patina. Is that like some kind of Ford?
Yeah.
Getting the old Ford patina.
That's the logo they have on their windscreen, Pa and Tina,
Yeah.
on their Capri gear.
I mean, on the top of the windscreen, patina.
Yeah,
The green stripe with the name on. Oh,
yeah, because it looks real classy, doesn't it?
It's definitely classy.
I'm sorry, Colin, but when you said patina, it just sounded like an old Ford. It really did. Patina.
You're mocking me again.
No,
you evil man.
not at all.
You can tell he's mocking you because he's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
I
shave
think
my
so.
beard off if you keep mocking me.
I mock not.
I can heartily recommend the new base color Grey Knight Steel as well.
Is that the blue one?
It's blue. I love it. The best. It's just
it's
so
called
nice.
Grey Knight Steel.
You've upset Dad now because it's blue. They don't do a red version, do they?
No, is this the contrast paint or a normal paint?
No, it's a new one of the new. It's one of the old Forge Worlds.
And it's called what?
Grey Knight's Steel.
So it's a metallic blue silver color.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one who was painted with the
Gorgeous.
contrast paints and the blue and the silver.
Yeah, it's the most lovely color.
Yeah. So instead of doing that thing with the contrast paint, and just use Grey Knight Steel.
Yeah.
Walter says he started his Warhammer Army. He got the Cadian Astra Militarum box. So I guess I'm onto that now as well.
Yes.
You're falling into the Warhammer and there's no way back.
Yeah. However, to have to say to Walter, if he's gone for Astra Militarum, he's gone for Imperial, and that gives you the most choice of models to put in your army.
Yep.
Because Imperial has the largest number of different models and kits and factions that can fight alongside.
So it's the most expensive one.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. A lot of the models are some of the cheapest, but it's the most varied. Like orcs, you've just got orcs. Tyranids, you've just got Tyranids and Gene Stealers. With Imperial, you've got kind of everybody can be an ally to the Imperial, and you've got all different stuff as well. So
That's what makes the Stormcast fun in Sigmar as well, because they can basically ally with everything that is good.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm with you now, Colin. I don't know what they're talking about.
Well, you can basically have a very diverse army where you got like free folk mages combined
Oh, right. Yeah.
with a unit of dwarves of some description, and then your main bulk of the army would be your Stormcast. That's
the
what,
best thing about Hero Quest is the dwarf.
Broadsword.
The barbarian's easy mode.
Oh, Vincent's put his strange after hours mask on again.
Yeah, so Walter's basically chosen the faction that can
Or
have
he's taking it off.
the biggest
Don't worry.
variation of models. Good choice. Plus, it means it can have Imperial Knights, so even better.
He says most vehicles as well. That's the whole reason I
Yep.
picked it.
Yeah, Imperial Knights, all the vehicles. You've got loads and loads of tanks, artillery, armor. You've got tons of stuff on Forge World if you want to spend the money. It also means if you want to spend the money on Forge World, you can have one of the best factions in Warhammer, which is the Death Corps of Krieg, because they are just the best.
Agree.
Yeah, but you've said however many times about the quality of the mold on those.
But it doesn't actually matter because it's Death Corps of Krieg. This is a world of people whose entire purpose in life is to die for the Emperor, not to fight for the Emperor, to die for the Emperor.
The Judean People's Front crack suicide squad.
didn't I read somewhere though that Forge World is working on upgrading their casting process?
I don't know.
Are you sure it's not?
You actually
An
can't.
entire team of people who are dyslexic and thought they were dieting the Emperor.
I think it's got something to do with basically the new CEO of the place.
Oh, they've got a new CEO at Forge World.
Well, no, but the overall CEO of the group
Oh,
behind.
he's been there for about 4 or 5 years now. He's the one that.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, I think it was a fairly recent article, only a few months old when I read it.
No, the new guy is just Games Workshop, not Forge World.
Yeah,
The one that came in about 2012, 2013. It's just Games Workshop. Forge World totally like it's got its own CEO and stuff, which is why they run so differently.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought
Yeah,
that.
me too.
Yeah.
I was in agreement with you, Chris, there, mate. I could see you thinking that, and I was like, I'm with Chris on this.
Yeah.
I've been in a
Definitely.
possession of a wish to run that company like Warhammer's running now, but I read something to that effect anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if there was actually I can prove there is no god because we don't have plastic Deathcore Krieg. If there truly was a god, we'd have plastic Deathcore Krieg. But we don't, so there isn't. There you go.
QED.
If we truly had a god, Ravel would be able to make good kit.
Chance of North Wales says my Cadian army original metal figures is the army I had stolen about 15 years ago. Still makes me wince thinking about it. I actually got sent some Kassakin metal Cadian figures. They're quite rare now, apparently.
Don't tell him that. They might be the ones that he had nicked.
Was there 15 of them?
Strangely enough, no. I got them from Tony McPony. Those.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't mean they weren't nicked.
Yeah, where'd he get them from? Yeah.
Dodgy man down the pub in Withenshaw. Yeah.
But it does mean, of course, that Walter can get Imperial Knights, which, of course, you should do.
Yeah, Tony was going to build them, but he's still sanding Harold Ike the Wonder Horse, isn't he?
Yeah, one of the legends for Vincent,
Sorry,
your
Tony.
camera's gone again. And your mic's gone off as well, but that's probably because you're spraying. But
He's spraying, I think.
Yeah. I can't tell because his camera's gone as well.
Yeah, yeah, cute to
Well,
live
you did
stream.
camera nonsense, you see.
Yeah, yeah. The clue is don't use Minicam if you want to go live.
Oh, don't use more than one camera full stop.
Yeah.
Because you just end up with...
I must apologise to Quano Man, who's come along for the first time tonight, and because there's so many other people in, we haven't really had a chance to chat.
Yeah,
So,
sorry, dude.
we can all shut up.
Just needs to pipe up a bit, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, but he's new. He's only just come along. You know,
Yeah, true.
it's overwhelming. I mean, it's overwhelming having me here, but let alone having Fox here as well, and it's just far too much for some people.
Yeah, and then Captain Chatterbox turns up. Yeah.
Yeah, but you only turned up accidentally, so it doesn't really count.
It's like, oh, who are you lot?
Why does it say live in the? Oh dear.
It would actually run fine if it wasn't for the fact that they're both named the same. It can't happen that all the time.
Aye.
The fact that they're both named the same, the two cameras.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had an issue when they were both named the same, but then one did have like Logitech 270, and then the other one had one in a bracket. But when I renamed them, just put them on different ports. You're not running them on a hub, are you?
No, not running on the hub, but I don't know. I'll have to check it out because it's.
Yeah, but just go into Regedit, mate. Select the hotkey and rename the webcams, mate, with a unique identifier. Boom.
That's
done.
what I need to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it all sounds a bit complicated for me.
See, I would have two cameras, but nobody wants to look at me. They want to see what I'm doing. So.
The thing is, I've got all these cameras and I rarely use them unless I'm doing something like, oh, there's Photoshop on the screen, but then I can do that on a screen grab anyway now. So one of them's going to go in on the printer. So
Well, I've got the one up here looking at me and one over there looking down there. So I just don't have to move them around. If I want to use this one, then I'll just use that one. And then if I want to use that one, I use that one. I don't use them both at the same time, although in theory I can,
yeah, I mean, I got the 920 and played with the focus, but no matter how much I tried, I still didn't have any air.
Yeah, you need the extra DLC for that.
Yeah, I'd say
You need
put
the
my
Mac
head on the other way up, you know.
No matter how much you adjust the C920, we all look like Ted.
Yeah. Yeah. He reminds me of that Grayson bloke out of Mr. Chumley Warner that Harry Enfield used to do, because he's changed his bins.
Yes,
isn't
Grayson.
he? So,
Yep.
you know, I'll keep expecting him to go, Mr. Trumley Warner.
Yeah, Ted has improved himself and come storming into the 20th century.
Yeah, he's modified his old bins, isn't he? Yeah.
Right, we got 10 more minutes left before finishing time. Paul's finished his painting, so he's ahead of the game.
Doing other stuff now.
He's doing someone else now. Look, he's ain't got a head.
Yeah. Excitingly, I've just tried Vallejo Model S steel overlaid with contrast skeleton horde on the Aquila on the chest.
Can't really see it, to be honest.
No, but it works.
We'll take your word for it.
Yeah, you actually get a sort of a muted sort of tarnished gold. It's quite cool.
Cool. Now you just need to do a little short video series of all the paint colours and the combinations and stuff, so we can follow it.
Yeah, perhaps a contrast paints video or something, the pros and cons or whatever, mate.
Is that like the official advertising? Contrast paints, it works.
It just works.
Contrast paints because they contrast. There you go. Easy.
Worth it.
And they paint.
Yeah.
Oh, that's still about contrast.
Do 6 episodes worth, couldn't I?
Yeah, I don't think got that much.
So easy.
Jono says, how far apart are you all on cameras? I'm hearing... And that was it. I don't know if something happened and didn't finish the rest of that sentence. But
how far apart are you all
when you say how far apart are you, do you mean sort of where are we all located? Or how far is the camera from where I am? Or... I don't know. I mean, the camera's there. Look,
accent.
It's just
My
there.
camera's about that far. But
Not that far, yeah. But my microphone's only that far, so the camera's
Mine's
that far.
quite deceiving because a lot of you think I've got the room that Harry Potter has under the stairs, but I'm in a 14-foot by 12 room. So yeah,
I always think you're living in a cupboard because you've got the door right behind you. So.
yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know. The rest of the room, the other side behind him, might be cute. I mean, my camera's
this
not even in the
camera-
middle of the room. This is that's the window, but there's more room beyond there. But that's secret. You can't see
I mean,
that.
this camera's on a boom arm on a kitchen unit that's bolted to the wall, and then I'm 6 foot from that, and then behind me I've got another arm's length, you know. But
Yeah. Is that what you meant? Some different accents, right? So you're not talking about physical location, difference cameras, difference in the world.
Oh, right.
I'm near Heathrow Airport in London.
Yeah.
And everyone else can do their own. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
about
not
20,
quite so near Heathrow.
I'm about 25 miles from London now. I moved out. I'm in
However,
Bath.
you are the most London person we know.
You're more London than me, even though you're further
All right,
away.
mate. Yeah.
I still get people at the local shops. They go, "What?" And I've actually lost my accent compared to what it used to be. So yeah.
Blind.
Yeah, God.
So yeah, me, Colin, and Paul are London local.
Yeah. London. I am Cheshire, about 5 or 6 miles south of Manchester.
So up north.
Up north, up north,
One
up
of
now.
my-
Up in the
I
Midlands.
thought
End of the country.
Watford was the furthest north in the UK. I thought the country just ended at Watford.
Yeah, Watford. You go up to Watford, and then it's just the north.
Is
That's
it
why
a
it's called
ferry
Watford
ride,
Gap.
Chris? Is it attached to us, or is it like...
It's attached, but you don't really want to go there.
That's
No.
why it's called Watford Gap, because you get Watford, and then for you guys, there's nothing after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because after Watford, it turns all Royston Vasey, doesn't it, with local people and that.
Local
Yeah.
people. And then you get Spid, who's even further north.
Yes,
Oh,
he's so far north that even Royston Vasey's scared.
I'm slightly north of Heathrow Airport, about 1,000 miles or so.
Oh, you're only a stone throw away then, mate.
Yeah, he's local.
It's been so far north, it's 1958.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah,
just
tell you
made
what,
they've just made an Ovis advert, didn't they? Where he is.
It gets cold, he throws
Hey,
the
don't walk. We've just got dial-up internet. I'll have you know.
Yeah, it's sheep powered by sheep. Dad, I don't know. Have we got anything in camera that we can tell us where he is? No, I don't think there's anything we can see that's got anything location based on you there, is there?
On where?
Dad's in Ellesmere Port, isn't he?
Yeah, Ellesmere Port, about 15 miles from Liverpool.
Yeah, so obviously we
got to
know.
know
I didn't know if there'd be a football thing on one of your stickers or something, but I can't see anything.
If you'd like to know more about where Dad is, call Eileen Bilton on.
Yeah. I mean, the clue with Dad is he's sitting there wearing a blue shirt, isn't he?
Yeah, but this one's all right.
Oh dear. And who else have we got here then? That's that. We've got Vincent. Vincent's not even in this country.
Nope.
No. he's in that place we're trying to leave, isn't he?
To be
What's
fair,
Germany?
people have swam the distance, so you know. Or
And we've got the
closer to Chris and Colin than I am.
the new guy, Quano Man. I don't know where you are. Where are you?
I think
If you're still
I'm
there.
pretty much just over Fox's left shoulder and slightly behind Dad.
Oh, right. So there you go. Just between them two.
Yeah, Quano Man's a Manchester lad.
So that hopefully that helps with all the accents. But, yeah, there we go.
The thing to keep in mind, I don't know, a lot of people from other countries won't realise this if they've never been here, but one of the things that makes the UK kind of interesting is that we're one of the countries where the accents change literally every 5 miles. My sister-in-law who lives in Memphis, who's born and raised in Memphis in Tennessee, she couldn't get her head around the fact that we could drive for 5 minutes and go through 4 different accents.
I mean, in London, it was by borough. You know, you'd have your South London accent, your East End accent, and
Yeah. And where's Lynn now? I know she's not here now, but she was here a little while ago. Where's she moved to?
New Mexico.
She's in Texas, isn't she?
Buffalo Crack or something.
New Mexico.
Yeah, she was around in the Americas.
New Mexico, that's it.
She's
Yeah.
Texan, but she lives in New Mexico.
the thing is, though, Fox, like almost every European, like Western European country has that, where you drive for 5 minutes and you're basically speaking another dialect. You have it in France, where if you are from the north, no one in the south will understand you, and vice versa. You have it in Belgium. If I go from one end of the country to the other, and stay within Flanders, stay within the Dutch-speaking region, if I talk in my local dialect, they won't understand me.
That's the weird thing. That's the weird thing, though, isn't it? Like, because it's obvious to me if I go through England or through the UK that the accent had changed. And I can tell where somebody's from. But if I go to say France, I can't tell Northern France accent from Southern France accent or non-English speaking accents. I've got no idea. I can't even tell when somebody who is speaking a language, say Italian, isn't a natural Italian speaker.
Yeah, but that's because you don't know Italian. But American, you can tell different dialects are American.
It's because we say everything. Well, how can somebody not tell them between, say, a Manchester accent and a London accent? But then to a non-English speaker, they probably can't.
No.
I think if you were walking around in Flanders and you were to be at the coast where they speak the coastal version of West Flemish, and then you go to Limburg, where
That sounds like a food.
yeah,
Limburg.
I like that place instantly, but I don't know where it is.
Limburg dialect, you will notice the difference because we're heavily influenced by French and also in parts English, and we influence English actually with the whole wool trade and whatnot.
So have you got all the soft and squashy words like the French and English?
Yeah,
And the guys have got the pointy German words.
yeah, exactly it. Where they have instead of saying the normal Dutch version of me, which is ek, very short K sound at the end, they go for the German ich, which is very weird, and they add that CH sound to a lot of stuff in Dutch, which makes you go like, you what?
Jono says we spread out quite a bit then. Yeah, but the strange thing is, one of the closest people around here, Colin, I've not met. But I've met Vincent and Dad and Fox.
Country.
Cheers, Jono.
We may be far apart geographically, but we're all closely connected by our love of Transformers.
Yes, yeah, we've all just got together through model making and the Boom Hut and stuff. So yeah, that's why we're around there.
Jono says in the chat, the bloke with a studio mic sounds a bit like Del Boy. Sorry if that's an insult. It ain't, mate.
It's just round the corner from him, really.
Yeah,
Down the road.
East End.
Yeah.
What is the
New
actual
York.
accent then? What is the actual accent then, Colin? What is it an East End accent? Is it a
It's a cross between East and South London, mate.
No.
Bethnal Green and then
sort of south east
and then South London out. But my family were all sort of East End London and South London, so you've got a bit of both.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know, but I'd say it was kind of East End with other bits. So.
Yeah, it's
I think I know
heavily
enough.
influenced by that because of the upbringing, which I can't go into on the live. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But that's right. The East End is the publicised one as well, isn't it? That's the one that everyone hears.
everyone glamorises it. you know, if you had £1 for everyone that said they knew the twins, you'd be a millionaire.
EastEnd is the one where you take anything with the letter O in it and replace it with like 6 A's, like Landon.
Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Landon.
There's a special dictionary.
Through wide pages, Landon.
Right, I think that's about time, actually, can't I think of it. So we're almost there, nearly past, so we're done. Thanks for joining me all, everybody, especially for everybody that's actually come along on camera and made it and been here and then gone and been here and still here. As I say, next week is the evening with everyone. So everybody that's watching in chat, get yourself a camera and microphone and come and join the link. I'll put the link up everywhere after it goes live. So 8 o'clock or 8:05 next Thursday, there'll be a link in the chat and in the various other places, the internets, the YouTubes, the everywhere. Click on that, come along, join the hangout and hang out. And you can talk to us and, you know, show us where you're from and we'll hear different accents and stuff. Other than that, anything else to anybody to wrap up?
Is Fox combing his puffin?
Yes, he's got all dust and standing dust on him, so I'm giving him a bit of a brushy. He likes doing his belly.
Yes, Fox needs to comb his puffin live on air because he can't do it on his own channel.
Well, I suddenly realised it was a bit plasticky dusty. So, gentlemen, rub your puffins.
Yes, get your puffins ready.
Is that
Right.
what you said, Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
got me puffin.
Yeah, that one doesn't need brushing though, does it?
Yeah, Magnus with his pork pie hat. Happy days. Courtesy of Mr. Mount in there.
So we're doing Thursday. So the next up is Sunday, which will be Foxy's stream. Foxy's 3 o'clock Warhammer, and then 8 o'clock my War Hamster sitting over there again. That would be the other camera looking down there at my hands. And then Monday will be E-models again, back to normal. Hopefully, with Fox's internet seems to be working today. So
yes, this was like a test run, and it seems to be working. So Plusnet have pulled the finger out of the backside, out of the iris. And then next time here, I say evening with everybody. Between now and then, sometime I'll be doing another on the channel that Paul's using at the moment, the Team Inept channel. I'll be streaming a bit more Subnautica. I'll be getting on and doing some of that. So like and subscribe.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a load of 3D printing stuff and things like that. So
everybody along here, most of us along here have got channels. You should all be following and watching and subscribing and stuff. So
yes,
you find us all and watch our stuff, and we'll see you soon for more things. So thank you all for joining me. I'm going to click the stop broadcast button, and then I'll keep talking for a little bit because it takes about 15 seconds for it to turn off now. It seems to take longer every time. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining me, and we'll see you on next time.